the chicken salad. I'm excited to share this recipe with you because it's one of my favorites. I got the recipe from a friend, but I'm not sure where she got the recipe from. First, what you want to do is you want to turn your oven on to 350, 375, depending on how big your cutlets are. I turned the convection oven on as soon as I got into class today. Put it on 375 and they cooked in about 20 minutes. I checked them with my thermometer and they were at above 165, so I know it's good to go. So what you're going to do first is you're going to chop your chicken, which I've chopped most of it, but I left one to show you. I like to cube my chicken. I think it looks good when it's on a sandwich, final product. Instead of chicken, if you wanted to use something that's a little more lean, you could use turkey, which I use turkey quite a bit at home. You want to make sure that your knife is nice and sharp. I sharpened my knife at home last night. I usually let the chicken cool a little bit so that it's easy to handle and I don't burn my fingers. After you put the chicken in the bowl, what you're going to do is you're going to use a whole red apple. You want to keep the peel on because it adds red color and it looks very nice when it's finished. From there you're going to add celery. I use one stalk. I sliced it pretty thin. And I've also sliced this ahead of time. I like to use celery because I think it smells good. You can smell the chicken salad from across the room with the celery. I don't use it if my husband's going to eat it because I know he doesn't like the smell of it. So, yeah. Next you're going to add pecans. You're going to chop your pecans. These are a little on the large side, so I'm going to make them a little smaller. We're going to use a quarter cup of the pecans. I like this recipe so much that I make it about once every 2 weeks. And I also eat it on pita bread if I don't have whole grain. And I like to put a slice of lettuce on the bread as well. You know, also adds color and it keeps it together. Then you're going to add craisins. I use about half a cup to 3/4. And it also gives a lot of color. If you want, you could use dried apricots. I know some people don't like the taste of the cranberries, it's kind of sweet, but I like them. And then you're going to use one scallion, you're going to slice it pretty thin. You're going to cut off the tips, and then you can cut all the way down to pretty close to the root, maybe about 1/2 inch. This whole thing. Now for the dressing, we're going to mix together mayonnaise, about 3/4 of a cup. This is regular mayonnaise. At home, I like to use low fat. I try to use low fat in everything because there's so much other food that I eat that has fat in it. But you're going to use curry. This is what gives your chicken salad flavor. I like the curry. It calls for a 1/2 teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon. Sometimes I use a little bit more. So you're going to put that in with mayonnaise. And then you're going to use the juice from a 1/2 of a lime. This 1/2 of a lime got me a lot of juice. It looks like it's about a tablespoon. Sometimes if I can't get enough juice from 1/2 of a lime, I'll use the whole lime. And then you're going to mix that together. And you're going to add that into the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. Then you want to combine everything. good it looks with all the color. I like the red and green. Now it's ready to be put on the bread. And today I have whole grain bread. So I'm going to scoop a little bit out on each slice. You also want to wear gloves when you're working too with red and sweet food. I'm going to change my gloves because I have mail on and I don't want to reach in the bag when I pull out bread. I like to put my bread on a clean surface, so I'm going to lay out some parchment paper so that the bread doesn't get right from any ingredients that I have on the board. Today I'm going to make 6 sandwiches. I like to line them with lettuce. I try to use a big piece for each slice. This is a great recipe if you are going to a barbecue. Having company, and you can have it with, I like to have it with something that isn't creamy, maybe a 3-bean salad on the side, something simple. Now what you're going to do is you're going to scoop out a little bit on each sandwich. A little bit goes pretty far. But if you're using pita bread, you really need to stuff it a little bit more to make it substantial. You can either eat it whole or you can slice it in half. I like to cut it into quarters, but you can eat it however you want to eat it. This recipe calls for 6 sandwiches, but I also have some left over. I also like to eat it at home without the bread. I'll pull it out of the refrigerator and I'll just scoop it. Slice them into quarters, because I think it looks better.